In an age of manufactured grievance and televised outrage, there is perhaps no more revealing a spectacle than that of titans clashing in the public square. The disputes of ordinary men are confined to the privacy of their own lives. But when the men in question are a sitting president of the United States and the world's most consequential industrialists, their quarrels cease to be private matters. They become public theater, amplified to the ends of the earth. We are told to watch, to choose a side, to invest our hopes and our animosities in the ongoing feud between President Donald Trump and Elon Musk. The media, in its insatiable hunger for conflict, presents it as a great drama of our time. But in doing so, they ask the wrong questions. The question is not who is right and who is wrong in any given exchange of insults. The far more consequential question is this: what does it mean for a society when its political discourse and its vision for the future are framed not by principles, but by the personal animosities of two powerful men? Does this signal the robust health of a dynamic nation, or does it signify a dangerous decay in the institutions that once disciplined the ambitions of even the greatest of men? The thoughtful observer is forced to step back from the daily barrage of headlines and consider the nature of the forces at play. For what we are witnessing is not merely a clash of personalities. It is a clash of two very different and very modern forms of power. On the one hand, we have the power of the state, embodied in a man who captured the presidency by challenging the very foundations of the political establishment. On the other, we have the power of the market and of technology, embodied in a man who builds rockets, electric cars, and controls a global platform for communication. To understand this conflict is to understand the shifting landscape of influence in the 21st century. It is a landscape where the old rules no longer seem to apply, and where the guardrails that once channeled ambition and ego appear to be rapidly eroding. Let us first consider the case of President Trump. His rise was in itself a testament to the exhaustion of the political class. He did not ascend through the traditional channels of ideological conviction or policy expertise. He ascended through a mastery of media and a direct, unvarnished appeal to a vast portion of the electorate that felt, and in many cases rightly so, that they had been forgotten and condescended to by the anointed thinkers and planners in Washington. His power is derived from a popular mandate, a legitimacy conferred by the ballot box. It is the most traditional form of power in a republic. Yet, his exercise of that power is anything but traditional. He speaks not in the measured tones of a statesman, but in the combative language of a talk radio host. His political capital is not built on consensus, but on conflict. He thrives by identifying enemies, both foreign and domestic, and rallying his supporters against them. In this, he is not so much a conservative or a liberal in the classic sense, but a political insurgent whose primary target has always been the institutional norms he views as obstacles to his will. For such a man, an outside force like Elon Musk presents a unique and frustrating challenge. Mr. Musk cannot be easily categorized. He is not a politician to be defeated at the polls, nor a pundit to be dismissed as a member of the, quote, fake news media. He is a creator of tangible things. His accomplishments in rocketry, in automotive manufacturing, and in satellite communications are undeniable facts on the ground. You can argue with a man's opinions, but you cannot argue with a rocket that successfully lands itself on a drone ship in the middle of the ocean. The battle between Mr. Trump and Mr. Musk represents a profound challenge to this ideal. It promotes the very opposite ethos, the cult of personality. It encourages the public to see the world as a drama revolving around great men, whose personal virtues or vices will determine the fate of the nation. It suggests that our salvation lies not in the painstaking work of maintaining our institutions, but in choosing the right savior, be it the political strongman who promises to smash the old order, or the technological visionary who promises to build a new one. History provides us with a grim education on the follies of this kind of thinking. The 20th century is a graveyard of nations that surrendered themselves to the allure of charismatic leaders who promised utopian futures. Whether those utopias were political or social, the price of entrusting a nation's destiny to the unchecked will of a single individual has always been paid in the currency of freedom, and all too often in blood. The current spectacle, for all its digital modernity, echoes the old familiar warnings. We are being conditioned to think in terms of personalities, not principles. We are asked to align with Team Trump or Team Musk. The implicit assumption is that one of these men holds the key, that one of them, if only he could vanquish his rival, could set the world right.
But what if both are, in their own way, symptoms of the same disease? The disease is a loss of faith in the slow, often frustrating, but ultimately essential processes of a free society. When people lose faith in Congress, in the courts, and in the marketplace of ideas, they begin to search for shortcuts. They begin to look for a man on a white horse. President Trump offers the shortcut of decisive political action, unencumbered by bureaucratic red tape or political correctness. Mr. Musk offers the shortcut of technological solutionism, the idea that every social and political problem can be solved with a better algorithm or a more advanced piece of hardware.
Both visions are seductive, and both are dangerously incomplete. Politics without prudence and respect for institutions becomes tyranny. Technology without wisdom and a sense of moral limits becomes a threat to our humanity. A society that pins its hopes on either a political strongman or a tech mogul is a society that has forgotten the fundamental basis of its own liberty. That basis is not the genius of a few, but the collective wisdom and virtue of the many, operating within a framework of laws that apply even to the most powerful.
The relentless focus on the Trump-Musk feud distracts from the real issues that a serious country ought to be debating. While the media breathlessly reports on the latest insult traded on social media, inflation continues to erode the savings of ordinary families. The national debt continues to climb to levels that were once unimaginable. Our education system continues to fail millions of children, leaving them unprepared for the challenges of a complex world. These are not problems that can be solved by a clever tweet or a presidential decree. They require sober analysis, difficult trade-offs, and a return to the basic principles of economic reality and individual responsibility. The drama of their conflict serves as a convenient diversion. It allows us to indulge in the cheap thrill of spectator politics while avoiding the difficult work of citizenship. It is easier to cheer or boo from the sidelines than it is to engage in the serious study of policy, to hold our elected officials accountable to a standard of reason, and to build strong communities from the ground up. In the end, the personal battle between Donald Trump and Elon Musk is of little ultimate consequence. Both are mortal men whose time in the spotlight is, in the grand sweep of history, fleeting. The enduring question is what becomes of the country that is so captivated by their contest. Will we continue down the path of personality politics, surrendering our agency to the whims of powerful individuals? Or will we rediscover the wisdom of our own traditions that teach us to be skeptical of concentrated power, to value institutions over individuals, and to place our faith not in saviors, but in the enduring principles of liberty and the rule of law?
The choice is not between Mr. Trump and Mr. Musk.
The choice is between a society governed by spectacle and a society governed by sober realities. It is the choice between the fleeting passions of the moment and the permanent truths that have sustained free people throughout the ages. The sooner we turn our attention away from the titans and back to those truths, the sooner we can begin the serious work of restoring our republic.